And we're going to start this 6 o'clock show talking about what's going on with the homes floating into the ocean in the Outer Banks. Another home out to sea. New details with our Nick Broadway shortly.
That's right. Right now at 6 o'clock, we have more from the Outer Banks as cleanup continues after Imelda's brush with the barrier islands homes still on the brink are causing concern. Good evening. Thank you for joining us live on air and streaming on Wavy Plus. We begin with two more homes giving way to the wind and waves on the Outer Banks. The one overnight and the other just within the last hour. Many of them collapsed as Hurricane Imelda churned off the southeast coast. As cleanup gets underway, many there want to know how many more homes are in danger. 10 of your side's Nick Broadway is on the scene of the latest collapse. Nick?
Stop. Yeah, Tom, so right where we're standing is where the 8th house collapsed within this past week in Buxton. That was a 2-story home on stilts like many of the others along the coastline here. We saw it go down gradually. First it came off the stilts. Now the first floor is gone. Just the second floor is still there. And when the swells from the storms come in, it occasionally picks up this entire structure, bringing it closer to shore, moving it closer to that greenhouse, which tough to see from this angle, but that greenhouse is angled slightly towards the ocean, away from land. In fact, you can see one of the pillars of that home is cracked already as this collapsed home, the 8th this week in Buxton, keeps it's moving around. It's moving next door to this other home that officials have pointed out as being also at risk here. And another thing to point out is there's a lot of people gathered here, many tourists, many locals as well, a lot of the people who are from Buxton here to see this happen. It would be a failure to describe this to you as a festival atmosphere. It is somber. I've actually seen several people who are from here who have walked away because they just didn't want to see this anymore. It was too much for them. We're seeing the waves come on in and crash up on us. This just keeps happening. Again, the swells from the storm and the house moving along, furniture, living room furniture and the like being thrown out the back and everything like that. So it is, these things are tough to predict. It's tough to say if another will fall, but we keep hearing the cracking and we keep seeing what's going on here unfolding. One of the discussions going on, obviously cleanup is a big topic amongst locals here. They're bringing in crews tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. according to the Park Service. They're going to start getting all this debris out of here, a lot of it washing far, far downshore from where these houses are. We've seen it go down pretty far ways in Cape Hatteras, just being here and going up and down the island. Another big discussion is what to do about the homes that are still surrounded by water, the ones being pointed out at risk of falling in as the erosion continues and as the swells keep going. And that's something that a lot of that discussion's happening on the legislative level now. On the federal level, Representative Greg Murphy, who we spoke to earlier today, is trying to address that, and we're going to have more on that later on Wavy News at 10 and 11, also on our website, wavy.com, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we're going to keep monitoring the situation for you, constantly evolving. You can see that house moving closer and closer to shoreline. Toss it back to you, Tom. Live in Buxton, Nick Broadway, 10 on your side.
And it looks like, Nick, the house behind the one we're looking at, one of the major supports is cracked.
Yeah, one of those support beams there.
Yeah. And it looks like that's going to go next, possibly. Are you able to see that from where you are?
Yeah, again, tough to... We are able to see it, and we did point that out to you. There is a crack on one of the stilts of that greenhouse next door. And again, a deputy told me off camera that greenhouse specifically was pointed out as being at risk. The porch on the other side is kind of sinking in a little. Can't really see it from where we're standing. But yeah, that is leaning towards the ocean, away from land, and the stilts on it, at least one, already very visibly cracked. So again, these things are tough to predict. It's not quite down to a fine science, right? But yeah, that one certainly does look like it's not doing well at the moment.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. I know it's a very hard sight for residents who have lived there, grown up there their whole life, to watch some of their history just sinking away into the ocean.
Home's been there for a long time.
Absolutely. You can see all of our previous coverage of the home collapses on the Outer Banks right now on wavy.com.